welcome to a brand new season of the OMEN Esports Report, where we've got a new home, a new look, and, well, a new us.
Is right, Mark. Myself and you will be the host of this monthly's peek behind the esports curtain. Each episode will be bringing you the latest news, the biggest guests, and some exclusive features that you do not want to miss. Here's what we've got lined up for you for episode 1.
Lottie, we've got no time to waste. Let's get into the show. We're bringing you up to date with the latest news from around the world of esports, and we reckon we can give you the top news items in, say, just 60 seconds. Sounds like there's only one person for the job, so I'm leaving it to you.
Cheers, Mark. Wow, no pressure then. Well, that leaves me with one place to start with this 60 seconds, and there's no better place than the latest instalment of the Blast Pro series, which took place in Madrid. The grand final saw ENCE take on the powerhouse of Astralis in a thrilling final, with ENCE ending the Dane streak of 31 wins on Nuke to 1 up, before sealing the title on Train 16-13. Moving over to League now with a mid-season invitational which kicked off on the 1st of the month. It's been a heart-stopping ride for two of my personal favourites, EU superstars G2 Esports and Double Lift team Liquid, after some tense moments of the group stages. Both sides ultimately progressed to the playoffs alongside SK Telecom T1 and Invictus Gaming. Whilst over on the Dota scene, fans were treated to an incredible tournament at the MDL Disneyland Paris Major. Team Liquid stormed through the lower bracket, only to have their hearts broken as Team Secret secured their second major of the season with a 3-1 win in the grand final. Now, to round things off, we've got some Overwatch League news for you. And San Francisco shocked the Stage 2 champions. A 4-2 victory over the Vancouver Titans in the grand final won them $200,000, whilst local heroes London Spitfire finished the event in 5th to 8th position.
You know what? That was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good, I'll give it to you.
Thank
For the first
you.
one, 60 seconds, it was pretty impressive.
I need to lie down after that.
You can take a few moments, but actually, no, you can't, because there's no time for that, because we've got a few more news items that I think deserve some attention as well. Now, first up, there's been an exciting announcement from the team over at Ubisoft of the Rainbow Six Siege Major taking place at the Raleigh Convention Centre in August. This will be featuring the best players in the world, and this is an unmissable one for those Rainbow Six fans out there. Tickets are on sale now, so make sure to go and snap some up before they're gone. Another massive bit of news that's dropped for an event a little bit closer to home is one that I cannot wait for. It is, of course, QuakeCon Europe, and will be taking place in London on July 26th and 27th, running simultaneously alongside QuakeCon in Dallas. Now, if you want to get the first hands-on experience of Doom Eternal before your friends do, your best bet is to get yourself down there.
Well, I'm going to jump back in now, Mark, because it's time to talk business with the recent news that the US org Gen G managed to secure themselves an investment of, just wait, $46 million. Ooh. Oh yeah, the org have been putting in the work on titles like Call of Duty, League of Legends and PUBG, and caught the eye of investors that included, really awesome, so excited, Will Smith.
Oh, the Fresh Prince?
Yeah, the Fresh Prince, I kid you not.
What a guy. Well, okay, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll give it to you, to be honest with you. It's going to be tough to beat, but I've got some OMEN by HP news that I think might just do it. Take, for instance, these incredible new releases that were announced in the last 24 hours. First up, the OMEN X by HP 2S. It's the world's first dual-screen gaming laptop, which means you can multitask between your game and, well, anything else you fancy, to be honest with you. The OMEN by HP 15 and OMEN by HP 17 laptops are also both coming your way as well, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for those. Now, if you're in the market for a new monitor, which we all are, let's be honest with you, you want to check out the OMEN X25 and the OMEN X25F, display monitors, which were designed with the Overwatch League and will be used throughout the 2019 OWL season. Lots of numbers.
Lovely stuff there.
Also, for you who like to throw down 1v1 style, we've still got the OMEN Challenger UK League of Legends online tournaments in partnership with Curry's PC World, taking place over the coming weekends. Secure yourself victory there and you'll win yourself some lovely prizes, including an OMEN Obelisk desktop PC, along with a 27-inch monitor, or the new OMEN X by HP 2S dual screen laptop that we mentioned earlier. The sign-up URL is on the screen now and in the chat, so what are you waiting for?
I'm ready to go and just sign up right now because that would add nicely to my setup at home. Right, for our final news item, we wanted to bring you something to make you smile, Mark, just especially for you. Esports crowds have been on their fire recently with outrageous chants and phenomenal support. And here's two of the best crowds from the recent IEM Sydney and CWL London events.
Twist has gone over to the edge. Oh, he's done it! 8 seconds. He has. He's got round 14, and he confirms it by adding insult to injury.
That's nice. Don't not take it out of it. No, don't! My one fan.
Well, what an amazing final. What an amazing final, an amazing way to end CWL London. Please make some noise for both teams who played incredibly well. Make some noise, make some noise. Well done, Mark.
Would you look at that? Absolute scenes. Keep it up, guys. Okay, that's the news done with. So let's head over to Mark now to give us the lowdown on the latest social media from your esports faves.
Amazing stuff. And yes, welcome to the Control Centre, as we call it. This is where we'll be bringing you some of the snippets of action from around the world, from Twitter, from every single place that we can find to keep you up to date with everything that's coming your way. So we're going to start off by looking at Twitter, and we're going to start off by looking at DDK's birthday. This is coming in from the Blast Pro Series that we saw very recently in Madrid. But this isn't the most important part, to be honest with you, because there's one man that we need to highlight here. I want to actually keep your eye on this man here, James Bardol. Fantastic commentator. Not a great dancer, to be honest with you, but hopefully, you know, James will work on that, and I'm sure that DDK will have a birthday he won't be forgetting for a very, very long time. The next tweet that we want to look at, though, is a more heartwarming moment, even though the birthdays are fantastic. You know, it's a heartwarming moment from ex-teams to ex-teammates. We have TSM sending some love towards Double Lift here, and it's always good to see the community showing love to each other, and you can see it here, a heartwarming photo to go alongside it as well. Great stuff there from TSM. Now, there's been a lot of hype in another game that's very popular at the moment. That is, of course, Fortnite. And this is about the current Fortnite patch that's just come out. And you can see CLG Gaming here, a little asterisk at the end, the pump shotgun vaulted. One of the most iconic weapons in the game has disappeared. And to be honest, you could probably see CLG's thoughts on that particular process. Obviously, there's been a patch since. There's been lots of changes in Fortnite and lots more, I'm sure, to come ahead of the World Cup. Now, we, of course, want you guys to get in touch as well with the show today. And you can do that by using the hashtag OMEN Esports report. We want to have some questions coming in from you for some of the guests that we have on the show. If you've got anything we want you to have answered, then send them in, and of course we'll do our best to get those done as well. Now, of course, later on as well, we'll have a Rocket League challenge for you, so a little bit of a looking forward into the future here, and we want you to predict who's going to win that. And how you can do that is quite simply tweeting, use the hashtag Team Mark or Team Lottie. But of course, we love you guys, so we want to have a competition for you as well. We've got so much to give you guys, and the competition is going to give away some incredible prizes. And the prizes are going to be an Obelisk RTX 2070 desktop and an amazing gaming chair. And if you're wondering, how do I get involved? How do I win this fantastic prize? Well, there's a URL in the chat right now. Quite simply, click on that, choose Team Mark or choose Team Lottie, and then you're in with a chance of winning. And that winner will be chosen at random at the end of the show. Now, the Control Centre, I mean, it's the hub of action right now, and we've still got heaps more to come during the show as well. We have special guests coming your way. We have 3 members of Origin joining us. Fantastic stuff to have those guys on. An esports legend in Paul, Redeye Challenger, and PUBG's favourite son, Richard Simms. On top of that, we have 2 features to bring you, as well as what to look forward to in the coming months in esports. Amazing stuff. We've got so much to bring you. Lottie, I can see you're ready down there. I think it's time for you to take it away.
I am indeed, Mark. Thank you very much. And you're very right as well, because it's time to welcome our first guest to the area that I've dubbed Lottie's Lounge. That is right. We're going to welcome 3 of the men behind Origin's success in the LEC, xPeke, Alphari, and Andre. Gentlemen, I'm going to give you a little clap here. Lovely to see you. Hey. Hi, Andre, looking lovely. Alphari, nice to see you guys. Andre looking very ready for business. I'm loving the attire right now. What have we brought here? The managerial role, I see.
Oh, just a normal smart casual.
Don't mind me.
Oh, hi.
Just jumping in.
Hi there.
Talking about casual, there's a little casual drop in there from my
That
friend
took a
Mark.
lot more effort than it looked like, doesn't it?
Amazing stuff. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to start with, of course, the legacy behind your organisation, xPeke, obviously Origin. You guys have been through an incredible journey already. Talk to me about how you began. What's your history?
It started more like a dream I always had since I started playing. Like even on my first year on my team, it was more about bonding with the team a lot, being with the players and something like this. And I had an idea that I wanted something on my own, something for the future, and improve things that I wanted as a player on an organization. And one of these things was, for example, being more reachable to everyone in the team, trying to have a more family-oriented idea of a team, and that's pretty much what I wanted to achieve. And when I felt that I had done everything I had to do with Fnatic, I just wanted to change and do something else and look for new challenges.
Do you feel like that is working for you? Is that the key to success?
I think it's working out. It have been a lot of up and downs. I had a lot of success with Origin, also a lot of bad moments, but I'm really happy at the point I am now with Refresh and with these guys doing good for the team again.
Now let's talk about right now. Let's talk about 2019. How is the season going so far? What can we expect from you moving forward as well?
I think the season so far went quite well. We finished second place on the spring split, which gave us 70 points for what's our main goal, that is going to Worlds. And now is just keep working, keep grinding, making sure that we can achieve better results, which would mean win the split. But not only we want to win the split, but we want to do it on with some different methods, and that's also what both Origin and Refresh bring a lot to the table. So also prove that those methods that we are trying to implement can be a key to success, and that's ultimately our end goal for the season, and not only this one, but for the ones to come as well.
Amazing stuff. Well, let's just talk about the MSO right now. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Who do you have your money on?
Well, probably IG. It should be. I mean, they just smashed throughout the entire group stage, and yeah, like there are some other good teams like SKT and G2, but
you mentioned only the relevant teams, I see.
yeah, I mean, the Team Liquid are in the group stage as well, but there's no way they're winning. Let's be honest. And yeah, maybe G2 can cause an upset, because it would be nice if they won after they 3-0'd us, but realistically, probably IG going to win.
Okay, a quick question for you guys as well is, you know, what are your aspirations moving forward as well? And is there a team, in particular, you have in your sights that you want to take down this season?
Well, G2.
G2.
Yeah, I mean, they're really good, and they smashed us 2 times in a row, so it'll be nice to beat them again. Or, well, yeah, beat them.
I like that, Alphari. You're out for blood, and it reminds me a little bit of earlier on when I had the pleasure of performing one of our fan favourites from season 1 of the OMEN Esports report, and it was our headshot challenge, where we put our guests through their paces on a CS:GO aim map to see what their skills are like. We asked xPeke and Alphari to kick off the new season of our challenge, so let's take a look at how it went down. We are back for another season of the Headshot Challenge, and I found my first competitor, xPeke. We've got quite the challenge ahead of us right now. 60 seconds to get as many headshots as possible on our CS:GO aim map. Now, it's going to be quite a difficult task, but you think you're ready?
I think I'm actually quite ready. I haven't played in a while, but I'm pretty confident because I have been able to warm up for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. Well, I've seen you warming up, and I'm quite impressed already, so we'll see exactly how you do. Let's get into it. Okay, it started.
Never mind, that guy's too hard to hit.
You got this. Okay, we're warming up now. Here we go. Right, we're already 10 seconds through. Got plenty of time. There we go. Nice little target hit as well.
Yeah. What do I get for the target?
Right, we are halfway through now. 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Easy stuff. We've got this.
Never mind, this guy's really close, but cannot get hit.
He just doesn't want to go down.
Never mind, let's ignore him.
20 seconds left. Oh, that was good. That was good. Here we go.
How long?
10 seconds left. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good work. Good work.
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Expected better from my previous warm-ups, but it's what it is.
Hey, you had your game face on, did really, really well, but we've got Alphari up next. How do you think he's going to do?
I think he's gonna do way worse than me, that's for sure.
Well, I found my second contender right now. Alphari, we are pretty much ready to go. Feeling okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling a little bit pessimistic right now. I'm not exactly confident because I've never played this game before, but hopefully I can beat xPeke. If I do that, then I'm happy, but again, I'm not sure about that one.
Alphari, I believe in you, and I also believe in beginner's luck, so go and take your aim when you're ready.
Let's kill this guy first.
We got it. We got this.
Eventually.
Boom, here we go. Timer has started. Yes, Alphari, good stuff.
But this guy refuses to die.
He doesn't want to go. Not without a fight. 45 seconds left, we've got plenty of time. I like the patience, I like the patience. Patience is good. Right, there's tons over this side. We've got this, let's clear this out. 30 seconds, we're halfway through. Plenty of time still. You are crushing this. We've got a close respawn there. 20 seconds left. The patience is unbelievable from you, Alphari. We're going to call you the patience king. Here we go, 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with that. That wasn't bad at all. How'd you find it?
I mean, I did better than I thought I would, but I still did pretty bad, I think.
I think you crushed that.
Yeah, it went okay, I suppose.
Right, we're going to have to find out the scores on the leaderboard. Well, there you have it. Alphari, watching that back, you crushed that. I'm impressed. Oh, that was a half-hearted fist bump.
Well, I'm not sure I crushed it exactly, but yeah, it did okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, we actually have the leaderboard behind us right now with the magic of me. There we go. Fantastic. Wow, okay. Not sure I like to see that at the top of the list. Mark Catcher, 26 points. Wow, okay. And then we go Redeye, 26 points. Third, we got Andre. And then we got Simms, 21. Oh no, Andre's fifth. Andre's fifth. xPeke was third. There we go. It moved a little bit too fast for my eyes there. And then Alphari, you're joint fifth there with Andre. How do you feel about that?
We're
not going to talk about that.
I expected me to do badly, but I didn't expect to do as badly as Andre, so I'm disappointed that I'm as bad as him. That's just, yeah, tragic, honestly.
It may be tragic, but obviously you haven't played CS before. Are you going to be practicing to get your skills up?
No, not really, no.
Not really?
Yeah, I think I'll stick to League of Legends.
He's sticking to League of Legends, guys. It's not for him, but it's time for another new addition to Season 2 of the OMEN Esports Report now, where we ask our guests to give us expert insight into one of their key competitive moments. Mark was with xPeke and Andre earlier on to talk us through it in the segment we call The Breakdown.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to a new feature for this season, and this is quite simply called The Breakdown. This is where we have some of the best minds in the business. We've got two of the gentlemen here from Origin, and we're going to be breaking down a couple of plays that you guys have made recently, starting off with this backdoor play here.
Yeah, so this was a play that we made against SK and on the second half of the spring split. And as you can see here, and if you play the clip, we can see that Jonas doesn't start the Nash until LeBlanc starts moving. And that's our plan. If you could just stop the clip here for a moment. So we know that LeBlanc and Yorick can easily dive Renekton on the Nexus turrets. So if they want to defend on us finishing the game through bot, they have to send at least 3 members, which gives us a free Nash. And that's our first idea. Now, that's the reason why LeBlanc is also moving bot, is to force them away from Nasher so that we can get the Nash and then play out the game like that and probably finish the game here. But here we see the TP of Renekton. And when we see the TP of Renekton, we know that their base is not defended. And since their base is not defended, we have a Demolisher, we just put those 3 guys stopping the recalls, and these guys can just easily finish the game.
Okay, obviously a lot of decisions to be made in a very quick amount of time there, so something that obviously aspiring players are going to have to keep in mind. But speaking of players, we've got xPeke next to you, and we knew this was going to happen. You were waiting for this moment because, you know, this is something that you've done before.
Yeah, I mean, SK back there, I knew this play was going to come up. And let me tell you something that not everyone knows about this play in general, is that, of course, we are maybe going to lose the game because we just lost a small fight. They're going to our base. And I decided to pretty much go to their base and try to annoy them. My initial intention was not to finish the game.
Just be irritating.
Yeah, just be irritating so they go back and they don't know what to do. You can play the clip and you can see it more clearly when I show you. And at this point, I'm just going to their base. I'm still thinking, should I TP, should I not TP, what should I do? And I see the opportunity and I just go for it, hoping that they will just stop going to our base. When I start hitting it, the first 2 hits, I see Olaf, and I'm like, okay, I stopped them from pushing, so I'm just going to back out. And you can see my small step back, which is going to be in 1 second here, I think. Yeah, right here, I step back a bit, but then I realize it's just Olaf. He doesn't do anything. He's just going to run around me. So I start hitting the Nexus, walking around, and thinking more and more, okay, I'm going to finish the game. I'm going to finish the game. Until I finally see Choga, and I'm 1 HP, and I'm like, okay, well, I died, but at least I defended the base, and I get the last hit, and I win the game.
1 HP in a dream, and you can see the reaction there, obviously an incredible moment, not only for the game, but for you personally in your career. Absolutely amazing. I was going to kind of ask you very quickly, you know, we've seen 2 very similar plays there from different times. For aspiring players, what would be a good time to use it, or is it kind of a situational play?
It's more of a situational play because the backdoor is not something you practice for. It's about being fast-minded and being a bit sneaky. Whenever you see an opportunity to make a cool play, go for it and try it.
Okay, be brave is basically what we're saying here from the guys from Origin. Fantastic stuff, gentlemen. Always good to get an expert insight into the gameplay that these guys can bring you. That's it for the breakdown. Fantastic stuff. It's back to you on the floor.
Thank you very much, Mark. Amazing stuff there. It's so great to have the insight there from Andre and xPeke, and I've learned a thing or 2. But if you've just joined us, where have you been? But don't worry, we're just getting started. There is still absolutely loads more to come. Redeye and Simms will be joining us for a chat, and our 2 big features are on their way. So don't go anywhere. Now, the first of our 2 features is up next, and it features me. I got the chance to take a trip down the Dota 2 MDL Disneyland Major in Paris to have a chat with some of the players, fans and talent to see how they felt about playing and watching esports in the happiest place on earth.
We are here at Disneyland Paris at the 4-day Dota event, the MDL Paris Major. Now, this is one of the last chances our teams are going to get to qualify for the International, and we've come here a day early to go and catch up with them and see how they're feeling before the event. How does it feel to be performing one of the biggest events of the year at Disneyland Paris?
It was quite a surprise. I don't think anybody expected us to be sharing a hotel with Mickey Mouse.
It's gonna be my first time truly having like the support from the crowd. I know it's gonna happen, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Disney owns everything now, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, now they're doing esports, so happy to be a part.
Tomorrow is the big day, and while all the teams are off practicing, I'm gonna go and check out some of the rides. Roll on tomorrow. Well, I've managed to escape the rain, and I've got here early before all the action is starting. The stream is going to be going live very shortly, and the stage looks amazing. As you can probably hear, there's a lot going on behind me, getting set up and ready to go. And I'm going to go around and find some of the audience members to see exactly how they're feeling about the tournament.
It's very cool for us in France that it is in Paris.
Dota has never really been a thing in France. The French community is, I think, really small.
It was the same in Mumbai, in India, when they have a very big sport event, and there was a lot of very good reaction to it. And I think it's the same in France. And the fact that we have Seb as a French player, big at the top of the world, I think it's really important to show it to the rest of the world, and in France in particular, how esport can be.
Why is it different to come to a live event rather than obviously be at home and watch?
It's just the atmosphere to be able to be in the crowd, get the cheers,
and it's cool because we can just shake hands with the player who are walking here. It's really cool.
So now I can see right now we've got Team Liquid hoodie on. So why do you support Liquid?
Just my team, to be honest with you.
They have my boy Matamba Man. He's the most awesome Finnish player on the scene.
Amazing. Now, I've got a quick question for the pair of you. Obviously, the relationship is on the line here, but if one of your teams wins the event, you'll be happy for each other, right? Yes.
Of course.
What an incredible couple of days it has been, getting to explore Disneyland Paris. And of course, this is only day number 1. And as the action unfolds over the weekend, it's only going to get bigger and better from here. Well, that is all from me, folks. I'm signing off at the MDL Disneyland Paris Major.
I cannot believe you got to go to Disneyland. I'm so jealous. Like, normally I'm not a jealous kind of guy, but that looked amazing.
My job's not bad at all.
That's very,
Not
very true.
complaining.
It's very, very true. And something else that I'm jealous about, of course, is the chance that you guys have to enter our competition that we said earlier. All you have to do is click on the URL in the chat and choose either Team Mark or Team Lottie on who you think is going to be winning the upcoming Rocket League Challenge.
Indeed, and our next guest is a man that knows competitive Dota very well. He's been a part of esports for probably longer than he cares to admit. It's the one and only Redeye.
Welcome along, Paul. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Red,
Been a while.
lovely
Hey.
to see you. How are you?
How you doing? You all
How are you
right?
doing?
Nice to see you. That's weird, by the way.
Scary, the stairs?
That's terrifying. How would you do that all the time, by the way?
You look like
because
you do it
I
all the
do-
time, Paul.
Well, I do it when you come out in front of hosts, in front of people, right? When I'm hosting, that's no problem. But doing a walkout like that, that's horrible.
I have seen you done something similar, no? At some IM.
I've never done anything
No?
like that. No.
I think I have.
No,
You're still making history even now, Paul. You're, you know, it's your
were
first
doing-
stairs.
when we played games back in the day, right?
Yeah,
in the old
which days?
We didn't have these things like walkouts and stages.
You had to bring your own stairs.
Yeah. to bring our own
Okay,
PCs.
you're not that old, surely. Love you, Red.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, Red, we actually missed each other by a short fraction at the MDL Disneyland Paris Major. Amazing stuff there. What did you make of the event overall?
I mean, another great major. Sometimes I feel like we don't get enough in Dota 2, but then when you have a major, it comes along and you enjoy the matches and. Yeah, I mean, it's different for this guy. He's obviously looking at it with envious eyes sometimes, I guess.
It's the same. A tournament is a tournament.
Right, exactly. But it's a big tournament for us, obviously, in Dota 2. And, yeah, really interesting results all the way through. I think Virtus.pro underperformed and few teams overperformed. But in the end, we got kind of the top 6 that I thought we would get, actually. It was quite predictable, which is really weird in Dota. We don't normally get it as predictable as that.
I mean, I remember walking in. I managed to catch the first game, and it was a rainy Paris day, and it was a little bit rainy for some of the boys in the first game because, my goodness, complexity that match 3-0, it was just awful. When we have situations like that, do you expect that on the first day? Some of those really sort of hard to take games.
The group stages at Dota events are a bit weird. They're all a bit weird because teams don't. They do care about them, but they don't care about them because they all go through to the bracket. So it's more about, are they finding themselves? Do they feel like they're in a good place? They don't want to give too many strategies away at that point in the group stage because you can get figured out really easily, especially when there's a meta within a tournament like that. So it's very difficult for some of the top teams to perform in groups, I feel. And I think that's why you see some shock results sometimes.
Now, Paul, we talk about Dota. You've done a lot of things in your time in esports because, you've done it all pretty much. And I want to talk to you about, your little journey through esports because, you've been here for a while now. You've kind of done everything that needs to be done. I don't really know where to start, but talk about your little journey through esports.
I don't know
Let's
where
go
to
back
start.
to the beginning, shall we?
Let's get back to 1863 when esports was in black and white. I don't know. I've just been incredibly lucky. I mean, I posted a picture the other day. I came across a picture, and it was from 20 years ago this year. It's 20 years ago this year, last weekend.
It's funny you should say that.
Have you got
because
the
that picture is about to be shown.
Is it?
So,
okay. Well, there you go then. I mean, but it's extraordinary to me that it's 20 years ago, right?
Weeble and Bob, can I just say, on the T-shirt.
What's that?
Weeble and Bob.
It's Weeble and Bob on the T-shirts,
Love
yeah.
it.
I don't know. It just seems crazy to me that it's 20 years ago that we first set out as a team. And shout out to my fruit friends, by the way. We were called Fruit. That's my old team. And yes, we all were different fruits. I was Kiwi before you were even asking. I'm glad it went back to Redeye. But it's crazy to think that 20 years ago, that 5 of us from all over the country came together at a tournament, won a tournament together, playing a video game. And it reminds me that this is not antisocial. Actually, it's quite the opposite. I have made incredible friends all the way around the world from different walks of life and different backgrounds and religions and wealth and countries, and it's just amazing that I'm privileged to be able to do that. And that picture kind of reminded me of, that was the start of it, really.
Paul, I see you as almost the godfather of esports.
Oh God,
right?
please don't.
Right, the best kind, the first,
Okay,
the
all right,
first
the good
movie.
kind.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Now, of course, we created this debate across our industry, and I think it's quite passionate to you right now because it's a pin tweet, that's for sure. But esports or esports?
Oh,
what are we thinking? We could go on for hours.
Look, I didn't. This wasn't my fault, by the way.
I always see you.
This is
But you're the one that's always
say it,
tweeting
stop
about it.
No, I don't know how I ended up as the person.
Every time the subject comes up, you're the one defending it.
I know.
Or fighting against the ones that
well,
don't.
because people send me stuff. You know what it's like, right?
No,
When
but
you
I-
have a lot of
but,
followers.
yeah.
People send you, hey, have you seen what these guys have they've spelled esports? So inevitably, I stopped posting because it got frustrating. So I just made the image. And then that way I just give the image out now. And then that way it's easier.
I mean, moving on to something, a little bit, looking towards the future. Obviously, we know you're very passionate about that. You're a very passionate man about most things that you do. But where do you see esports going over the next 5 years? Because if you look back at the last 5 years, we've come such a long way.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what's about to happen?
Did you know it's probably the most common question I get asked in a business setting. I do a lot of, obviously, work with Code Red, where we're going to speak to new clients and people that are coming into esports for the first time, and they often ask this question, where is it going to be in 5 years, 10 years from now? I often tell them, anyone that can tell you where esports is going to be 5 years from now is lying. Because it's almost impossible, seriously. Yeah. I could not have predicted 15 years ago, when I sat in my bedroom doing shoutcast radio, that we would even be in stadiums. And we've been in stadiums now for 7 years. We've been doing stadium events in esports for 7 years, filling them out all around the world. And I couldn't have predicted that 7 years ago. I couldn't have predicted it 3 years ago in many ways. So I think it's very difficult. But I think just bigger, better, stronger, more money, more sports teams, more non-endemic sponsors, more people coming in and hopefully paying the players better and improving the teams and putting more money into each of the tournaments.
Paul, what do you think is the pinnacle for esports? If you could sort of put your thought process into it and you thought, right, this is the limit, this is the sky for esports, this is where it's going to be at, what would you say?
I don't think it'll ever be as big as football as a group, but I don't think it could be far off as a collection of sports. I think that's the other thing. People often look at esports and they think, oh, it's an entity, right? It's not. There's League of Legends, there's Dota, there's Halo, there's what have you, and each fan are very passionate about their game, right? So it's harder to describe that to non-endemic sponsors and people that don't come from esports, because they think of esports as a sport, so they compare it to hockey or football or NHL or whatever. Actually, they shouldn't. They should be comparing League of Legends to NFL or NHL or whatever, and the same with Counter-Strike, and compare it to other sports. So I think if we can get to that point where each game is as big as any other sport out there, maybe save football, I think we've done really well.
Fascinating insight there from you, Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. But I think it's time for us to add another guest to our sofa now. And to be honest with you, Lottie, I'm refusing to call it Lottie's Lounge. He's one of the leading commentators within one of the hottest esports scenes right now of PUBG, and also a man that I've shared the microphone with many times before. Please welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Simms. Did you make the stairs all right? Are you good? Are we gonna have a hug? We're gonna have a hug.
Come on, for all time.
What a lovely moment.
Sims,
Hi, you all right? How's things?
All right.
Good, thank you.
All right.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Sims, I think first and foremost, everybody needs to congratulate you on becoming a dad.
Congratulations, Richard. Amazing
Harry.
stuff.
Harry is gorgeous.
Which is weird because last time we were sat, all of us over there, last time we were on air together, talking about it, now it's weird. It's strange, but in the best of ways possible.
It's amazing, and I hope he has a bright future, the same as his
I hope his gaming career is
dad.
better than mine.
I don't think it can get much worse, mate, to be honest.
Well, yeah, there is that to be fair.
And Mark brings it back down to earth.
Hey,
now,
reality hitting.
let's talk about PUBG, because obviously you disperse yourself throughout the industry, and we've come across many titles, but one right now that's dominant for you is PUBG. Talk to me about the rise of it. What's going on?
Oh, I mean, playing it from day one. I was playing it during the beta days when it was kind of in testing phase and so on and so forth. And it's just come on leaps and bounds. The game is in a complete different state to what it was. I mean, there were memes being thrown around.
esports ready? Can BR esports be a thing? And honestly, I think PUBG is really changing the face of that and proving that not only BR esports does work, but you can mitigate the RNG. It's manageable. Update by update, the game changes face. Even now in its amazing state, to be honest with you, it's more than stable. We're getting a good amount of FPS.
It's better, but it's not perfect, is it still? I mean, broadcast-wise, I still find it really tough to watch.
It is.
It's much better, don't get me wrong, it's much better than it used to be.
I think it comes down to, and this is something I was speaking to another company about not so long back, so far every TO has its own little kind of change on things of how they need to broadcast it and their own twisted and their own changes, but it's getting there, and now we've got a global rule set in the whole of the leagues across the world. Everyone's kind of playing on the same foot. Before can it be FPP, TPP, what settings should we have? And it's really streamlining out, and it's good to see. Yeah, I think it's going to go kind of that Rainbow Six way, where it's a really good esport to tier 1 and jump up over another year. This is year to do
I still can't see this PUBG caster, by the way.
Me?
I'm still as Halo.
I'm
I
think that's all.
corner here, by the way.
We're
all still just lingering
Old school
around.
Halo
We'll
corner
just bust
right now.
out the theme tune right now.
We still love the boys over at Halo. But let's talk about an event that you were a part of recently, Face It London, because obviously, you know, that was an event that was a huge event for PUBG Esports.
You know what? It was amazing. It's the first time, and as Paul kind of touched on it, things are changing. It's the first time I've ever heard a crowd going wild for PUBG. Okay, it's very, and we have noticed this, there's a lot of Chinese fans. The Chinese base is insane. And the way they get behind their teams, it's mesmerizing. It's fantastic to watch. And you can hear them. We had 2 Chinese teams there, and the cheering for them was just fantastic. And there's a famous clip online where one guy gets a grenade from the ground onto all 4 players and just destroys them. And that's what's to come, and being able, and you could see with the observers, they went from first person to third person, over the top, watch the grenade, then you had an observer literally waiting on top of all players, just waiting to receive that shot. And it's things like that that are going to make it better. And the tools, and PUBG keeps giving us more tools to be able to cast it and really show it off, because I think for me and Lauren, we've discussed it a few times, it's a story. How did Team A drop at location A, and how did they die or get to survive at location B? And the obstacles that kind of, just all the obstacles that it's an unwritten story, and I think it's been difficult for me transitioning from play-by-play, regular, just what's on screen, to trying to go for a more colour stroke hybrid, but it's good and it's fun, and that event was just amazing. We saw another Eastern team win from Asia, another team yet again, proving that the West has still got to step up. Okay, we saw EU and NA second and third, but still not getting to #1 on a global scale just yet.
Absolutely. Well, Simms, something near and dear to my heart, of course, is Halo, and a little Halo corner we got going on here as well. But let's just talk about the future right now, because there's been some big changes on the horizon in terms of Halo. It's going to PC.
It's not just you though, Paul, is it?
It's everyone. It's going to PC.
Everyone is so
We've got a new game
excited
coming
about the Master Chief Collection coming to PC. And I think that it's not just us as fans. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, for me, I think, and I've always said this, people say, I bet it's amazing to be a caster, and I bet it's like, and I think we'll all say this one, it's just Halo in its right, it's at the heart. And no matter all these players that have been at a big esports, or are at a big esports level, they always remember Halo 2, Halo 3, the golden era, the golden game. And I think in every single way possible, Halo moving to PC, there's no bad points about it. Every single point is positive, and it's only going to do wonders for the franchise. Already on Steam, I think it's the most whitelisted, or the biggest wish list item to come out on MCC, already on Steam. And I think it's just going to blow up, and it's only going to do wonders for the franchise. And then rolling off the back of that, it gives a good tester for where we'll live when Infinite finally comes out. And when we see that and where that goes, and kind of what direction, okay, MCC is going to be at set games, and we know. But again, for the franchise as a whole, giving the PC's option, not moving to PC, but giving them the option to play it, it's only a big positive.
xPeke, I'm going to bring you in here right now because...
No, that's fine. I'm just learning a lot. I mean, I know the games.
Halo fan?
But I used to play more in console by myself, never like tournament style or anything. Just I didn't even have internet when I played it, and I'm the youngest. I'm probably the youngest here.
It really is.
I didn't either.
Everyone knew it.
I was honestly, I was just ripping through the campaign. I loved it. I didn't have any
in that sense, I'm a huge fan.
Middle of nowhere.
It's everyone's favourite game, I find. Everyone's done it in some way or some other and played it at some point in the life.
It's the reason I bought an Xbox.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I'm not a console player at all. I hate the controllers, but I did it because.
Get a mouse and keyboard and be able to
and that'd be
grunt birthday party and everything else.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
It's going to be.
I mean, I'm just excited to the fact that what players are we going to see come and play Halo? Who are going to? Who are those?
Some new ones.
Yeah, some old ones can jump back.
Will
but
they be
the
able
PC
to?
community.
Yeah.
They can jump back over.
I doubt it. He's never been retired.
Are we going to be
He's
seeing
never
some new
retired.
superstars, do you think?
I think that's the most important thing. Yes, we'll see some of, and again, we don't know what's going to happen with a full esports player base as such, and which way, and Microsoft's going to go. But it's going to be amazing, and being able to see all these new players opening up to the world, I think we'll see a couple come out of the woodwork. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, always great to speak to you, Rich, and we'll be hearing more from you later. But it's time for feature number 2 coming your way now. And this time we're asking the question, just how do esports organisations stay relevant in today's world? We thought it'd be best to ask some of the biggest names around to offer their point of view. So let's take a look.
There's no denying esports is huge. And at the centre of it are organisations competing at the highest level. With investment at an all-time high, the competition has moved outside the game. The question is, how do these teams stay relevant in the next billion-dollar industry? In 2018, esports broadcasts were watched by nearly 400 million viewers worldwide. Spectators are tuning in to watch their favourite sides face off in their favourite games. But in recent years, the way these teams are run has changed.
My name is Kieran Holmes-Darby. I'm the Managing Director and co-founder of XL Esports.
My name is Mike Raffel. I'm the owner and CEO of NV Gaming Incorporated.
I'm Richard Lewis. I've worked primarily as a journalist.
So what's happened to esports teams?
Back then, everything was very team-centric. Now what we see is at the top, CEOs, COOs, CTOs, CFOs. And this is a huge cultural shift that now esports organizations are being run as businesses.
With teams becoming more business focused, has in-game success become less important?
For us, winning will never be less important. We were considered one of the most elite esports organizations in the world for many years, and I think we still are. Winning was really the catalyst for all of that.
At the end of the day, it's much easier to build a brand around winning, but winning is not enough anymore.
What's happened is success is only as important as it is to the business.
In today's world, it's all about building that media side and building that brand.
Even if you don't have a winning team, at least engaging with the fans is a platform for us to have a business. As long as fan engagement is existing for us, then we have something that advertisers and sponsors and media companies want.
But above all that, teams are striving for one thing: an identity.
Identity is a very hard thing to come by in esports.
You have to differentiate yourself. You have to have that USP. Ours being the sort of go-to British esports team, and having our base here in the UK is really important for us. The key word that everyone always talks about is authenticity. That is the key, and make sure you are authentic in the claims you make and the plays you make.
In general, I think it's very important for every esports organization to find their own identity and find something that makes them unique. I think our unique ability is producing live events and shows in a market. And we just proved that this past weekend where we had 5,000 tickets sold for 2 straight days.
Events like this are changing what's possible for esports teams to do.
It's a massively competitive industry, both in-game and out of game. So as soon as you see an esports team doing something great, there's going to be a lot of teams wanting to replicate that or do it better, do it slightly differently.
This out-of-game competitiveness could mean it's a bright future for organisations.
I think we're in for a lot of exciting times, both in terms of the successes and failures that are going to happen.
I'm now looking 5-10 years in the future and not at the short-term immediate goals. Winning the next tournament doesn't mean we can fund ourselves for the next 3 months to get through the year. We're building a business model and a strategy that lasts for a lifetime.
Is it still possible to create a team that will stand the test of time?
It is definitely something that takes a lot of work and thought, because you have to find this healthy balance between your fan base, your investors, and your core beliefs. And if you manage to do that, then you have something amazing.
Very interesting and thought-provoking video there, to be honest with you. And it's a perfect time for us to introduce another new segment for season number 2, and it is called Best of 3. Now, here we have 3 of our guests. We give 3 of our guests the chance to speak about their mind on a topic, and that video has given us the perfect subject, and that is quite simply, is winning trophies enough these days, I should say. These days. Gentlemen, it's over to you. Starting with you, Richard, what are your thoughts on this?
I think, and I'm not at that level where I've been a player as such to be able to, speak from that perspective, But certainly I think there's a yes and a no side to it. Yes, for the players and the fans, I feel like winning will always be the main thing. They want to be lifting that trophy. The fan base wants to see them lift that above their head. The players will give them the confidence moving forward to be able to achieve more. You know, that's what you want working forward. But we see them now that these guys don't do this for free. Just because it's gaming doesn't mean that it's not a job. We all have homes, families to provide for, and everything else. And there has to be some kind of income from that. Your sponsorship deals, the prize money. It's a job. There has to be income from that, and it's not just enough to be able to support them in the ecosystem. There has to be income at the end of the day, simple as that. But I certainly think trophies are a good starting point for any organisation. If you want to get your name on the map, you have to be bringing it home at the end of the day. You have to have something to prove.
I like that. Paul, I'm dying to know your opinion.
I think this is it's a tricky subject. I kind of agree with what Richard Lewis said in the video. It's a business now, and we have to be mindful of that. That said, if we just go all business-like, then we miss out on all the cool stuff that we used to do, the passion. I remember that photo that we showed earlier. 20 years ago, I went to a LAN. We didn't care about how much money was on offer. I think it was 200 quid for that weekend. We didn't care. We went along because of the camaraderie, because of the passion, because we wanted to win a trophy. So I think it's really important that, yeah, we treat them like a business is, and we do the right marketing and what have you. I always think of the Dallas Cowboys in this situation. I hate doing the whole sports analogy thing, but hear me out here. It's 23 years since they won a Super Bowl, but they're still the most valuable by finance franchise in the whole of the NFL. So it doesn't matter that they haven't won a trophy, they're still a success. They're still a massively successful company. So I think we need to have that kind of mentality in esports for the top organisations as well. But you can't tell me this guy doesn't want to win another trophy.
And yeah, I mean, winning, I think, is not necessary, but it obviously helps a lot. Yeah. And I think it's the right mentality to have when you're a player or an organisation. You should strive to win things. You should not strive to not win and become the best by not winning. On the esports sides, of course. But you want to try to build more than just winning. At least how I always saw it as a player and as a team owner is try to connect with the fans as much as you can. Try to do things with them. And if you win while you're doing that, then you're going to get big for sure. But I think you should never stop thinking about winning, but don't let it blind you. Don't be like, if I don't win, I'm depressed. If I don't win, my career is over, because that's not everything.
All valid points there, onset.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's good to see sort of a balance of argument as well. I mean, I wanted to ask you xPeke as well, because of course you're on the other side of things at the moment, and that connection with the fans, and you're saying how important that is. When you're not winning tournaments, that becomes even more important to have those guys pick you back up again.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was always super important to even go out, take pictures with the fans when I lost. Sometimes you can, because you take a big hit and it's impossible, but I always try to force myself to be like, remind me, I'm here thanks to them, you know? And I couldn't believe, I still can't, that sometimes someone want to take a picture with me. So I try to put the effort, and if someone want to take a picture, if I had to queue up for a couple of hours, do it, because in the end, thanks to them, I think we're all here.
Yeah. I remember this guy, by the way, still doing signing sessions after losing big matches.
That's a tough thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
I've always thought that was horrible to do.
It is a tough thing to do, and amazing opinions from all three of you guys. But your opinions aren't the only ones that matter. We want to hear from you guys at home as well, because you're here with us on the OMEN Esports Report, and we want to know what you have to say about this debate. So all you got to do is open your Twitter, hashtag OMEN Esports Report, and let us know what you are thinking. But a light note now, moving on, where our Mark here, mentioned that our competition earlier, where you had the chance to win a prize by either backing Team Lottie, great choice, or if you made the mistake of backing Team Mark in our Rocket League challenge. So, without further ado, let's find out who kicked off the new season in style with a win, and find out which of you guys were making the right decision.
You're going down. So here we are then, we're on the main stage. It is about to go down in the Rocket League Challenge. Now, of course, it's going to be Team Lottie taking on Team Mark. And my teammate I need to introduce, of course, is someone that we've got a little bit of history. So we're hoping that can help us out in game. Richard Simms, how are you feeling? How much Rocket League experience have you got?
I'm feeling good. However, including this lobby time, experience-wise, it's this lobby time.
And this is a face of instant regret. But anyway, let's move across to Team Lottie. How are you feeling about things? Obviously, you've got Redeye alongside you.
I'm feeling great. I've got an absolute legend recruited on my team today.
We do. Nothing else.
We're putting it down to the simplicity.
My point is cars and football. If I'm not good at this game, I suck.
It's Rocket League Rumble, remember? We've got abilities. We should probably think of using those, Rich.
Okay. Oh, we're in. Oh my
I
god.
love it, Rich. I love the start. Aggression.
Oh, you just hit me.
I know, and it was intentional.
Redeye's on the wall. Oh, I'm nervous. I've got to hit this.
Where's the ball?
I didn't hit it.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
No. No!
Yes! Yes!
Composure.
Take that!
I love it.
Composure.
What a great teamwork.
No, Rich, we're both next to each other. We need to stop holding hands.
What's going on?
I love you.
What is that?
I'm dragging it!
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
I can't even see the ball.
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
Oh,
yes!
No! No!
No! Red! No! It's okay. It's okay.
What's that goal?
Even though it was kind of like...
Thank you, Paul.
It's
Red.
still...
I just thought I'd pass that
Stuff,
to you
good
to give
stuff.
you guys a chance.
I'm magnetising it to me, apparently.
Rich, keep doing that towards the goal.
Not entirely sure what's going on. This doesn't seem like rocket.
Oh
Rich,
my
leave
gosh.
it. Rich, leave it.
I don't
Rich,
know
get
what
out of
to
the
do.
way.
It's
Get
yours.
out of the
No!
way.
I can't
It's magic.
see it.
No!
Oh no!
Ow,
Oh
done.
no!
work.
Okay, we still.
Alright, it's all good.
We've got
It's all
time.
good.
We have
there.
time.
See, that was a bit...
Yeah. Viewers at home are going to be interested right now. Those who voted for Team Mark or Team Lottie. Team Mark, good choice.
You got to
at
touch
this
it,
point.
Mark. Oh.
No, I don't. No, I don't. It's off the wall.
What's that?
Lottie's turned into a tornado. Oh, so the ball's frozen.
The ball is...
Wait, if only one of us could aerial.
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no!
We're just making it up as we go along. Oh, Paul's going for a banger.
Oh, hello!
Target.
Boom! I made a fatal.
Okay, Red
Stakes have been
Ronaldo.
met. All right,
Red
so we've got 2 minutes
Ronaldo.
23 to
Look
get
at
back.
this!
I see you.
Have some of these angles!
I see you.
I mean, I kind of knocked that one in. All right,
Paul's
that's
a
fair. We were just giving you one back for earlier on.
You'd be getting a
Come on,
lovely
Rich, we got
salary
this.
off. We got it. Okay.
I keep forgetting to hit the ball. It's a real issue.
Hello.
I think I might have found the game that I am worst at.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom! It's beautiful!
This before.
There's still one more here.
No, no, no,
Oh,
there isn't. No, there isn't. No, there
I think
isn't.
we might. No!
Boom.
Look at that.
Do you know what? It feels so good to win.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes.
Yes! Get down!
Wow. Wow.
This was
Mark,
my first time on main stage.
do you know what feels really good? Being able to say well done to everybody who voted Team Lottie, because you obviously chose right. Redeye, you have been a fantastic, fantastic teammate, so thank you so much.
Your strategy and tactics were spot on, Lottie.
Thank you. Oh, lovely. You can come again. You can come again. Well, let's find out exactly who has won the competition.
No applause, please. I'm not having that. Like, I mean, Lottie. I said I wouldn't throw you under the bus, Rich, but next time I'm picking you, Paul. That you're going to come and play with
The
me.
only bus I see right now is the winning bus, and me and Redeye have front row seats.
We ruled that game.
We did.
We had such a good start.
Yeah.
We did. Like, we went 2-1 up, and then
Yeah.
Paul decided, nah, I'm not having
You're
it.
the
basically
football
did
man.
a-
You should have been dealing with it. I don't do football.
Never go full Liverpool.
Anyway, what was a disappointing time for me? We'll move on and we'll give you some good news because I have the fantastic privilege of announcing our competition winner from earlier today. Obviously, some fantastic prizes on board, and the winner is Paddy Fairley. So congratulations to you. We'll be in touch, and obviously it'll be a fantastic little day for you to pick up some great prizes coming in from HP Omen.
Amazing stuff. Congratulations, and thank you very much, Mark. To close out the show today, we're bringing you our new segment called The Month Ahead. Here's all the things we think you need to know about the coming weeks. We brought you up to speed on the MSI earlier in the show, but there's still 3 more days of intense action to go down. The action picks back up on May 17th in the Taipei for the knockout stages of the competition with Invictus Gaming versus Team Liquid. May 18th sees SK Telecom T1 taking on G2 Esports in the second semi-final. But before we get down to business with the grand final on May 19th, with one team will walk away with a trophy and $400,000. Semi-final 1 starts at 11 a.m. on May 17th, so make sure to tune in then. Following on for that, xPeke, we've obviously got some exciting things happening there. $400,000. Fancy a piece of that pie?
I mean, I think every team is going to be fighting to death there.
I
for sure.
would, that is for sure. But we're moving on now after that incredible event. We've got DreamHack Dallas. It's our next unmissable one on the calendar with 3 days of competition from May 31st to June 2nd across multiple titles and genres. Highlights include the CSGO DreamHack Masters and Rocket League DreamHack Pro Circuit. I'll be tuning in, and I recommend that you do the same. This next one's a little closer to home, with Faceit ECS Season 7 finale taking place at the SSE Arena in Wembley on the 8th and 9th of June. Tickets are still available for what should be a spectacular showcase of top-tier CSGO, so grab some friends and head on down to support your favourite teams. And upcoming next, we've got Dota, that's right, Redeye, now with the Epicenter Major set to kick off in Russia on the 22nd of June. I know you've been to Russia before, but first, you'll be hosting the Birmingham event.
Yes, ESL1 Birmingham is coming up for us at the end of May, which has pretty much all the top teams in the world going. So we're looking forward to that one just before we get to Epicenter. But yeah, looking forward to the final major of the season as well.
We've got some big teams in Russia as well. They're ready to go toe-to-toe. You won't want to miss it. And if you're a fan of Valve's popular MOBA, then mark your calendars. Lastly, for those of you who fancy yourself at the next Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
That's you, Redeye. I know you want
Yes.
to be here. There's still a chance yet, honestly. Qualification for the F1 Esports Series is ongoing, with a deadline to register a time for the third qualifying event closing on May 19th. Now, to make your mark there, you could find yourself in a race-off event on the 27th to 29th of May, and if you make it there, then you're within touching distance of joining a professional racing team. Now I can breathe.
I was going to say, that's a pretty good effort to get to all of that. I mean,
months.
it just keeps showing us how much action we've got to come, doesn't it?
So much. We have so much, but I've had an absolute blast.
Yeah,
with
I've had a lot
our
of
first
fun.
episode of the season, and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing.
Absolute pleasure.
Getting all of your insights, but Mark, that's pretty much all we've got time for.
That's it. Unfortunately, that is all we have for tonight's show. But a massive thank you for everyone who's watched today. Thank you for tuning into the first episode of the new season here at the OMEN Esports Report. We'll be back on June 26th, and guess what? We're going to do it all over again. We can't wait. Thank you so much. Good night.